Hello mates, I hope you're all doing well. Happy New Year mates, I hope 2024 is treating you well so far. So today I'm going to be going through and showing you all of the tattoos that I got in 2023, and then after that I'm then going to share with you what I'm thinking I'll get in 2024. 2023 has been a pretty decent year for me, to be fair. Not a huge amount of note has really happened, but all the stuff that has happened has all been pretty good. Like, I can't complain. Like, I started making these videos again this year after having about, I don't know, 9 months off of not really kind of knowing if I wanted to keep going with these and not being totally sure what kind of content I wanted to make. And I've had lots and lots of really nice feedback from you guys though, especially on my recent videos since I started making these again. And it's just been really nice to just be able to reach out to you guys to reach out to me, and just, you know, we have the nice tattoo conversations. Thank you guys so much for all the love, and I hope that this can kind of keep growing throughout 2024. I really enjoy making these videos and I really enjoy interacting with all of you guys. So yeah, I hope 2024 is good to you. That's probably enough soppy stuff, right? Everyone's here for tattoos, so let's get into it. So I've actually only had 2 tattoo sessions this year, but I got a decent amount of coverage in those sessions. I did 1 half-day session back in April of 2023 and 1 full-day session in November of 2023, and I got a total of 8 tattoos across those 2 sessions. So at the end of 2022, I finished my right sleeve, like literally the very end. I think it was something like the 29th of November 2022 that I finished my right sleeve. So throughout 2023, I've been focusing on filling out my left sleeve, and I'm pretty close to being finished right now. I only have a handful of small gaps left to finish. So in April 2023, I did a half-day session with Joey Salvage, who works out of Magic Tattoo in Brighton, and during that session we managed to get 4 smallish tattoos done. The first one that I want to talk about is this one that's here on my wrist. It's a skull with an eagle sitting on top of it. This is a piece that I'd wanted to get for just over a year before I got it. It's a piece that I saw from Joey's Flash, and I just kept coming back to it. I knew it was something that I really wanted on me somewhere. I think it's just such a cool little image, and I feel like everyone who loves tattoos should probably get a skull tattoo at some point, and I didn't have one, and now I do. This one was kind of weird to heal, like the skin kept breaking like right at the top of my wrist when it was healing, even though I was looking after it really well. I guess because you bend your wrist so much when you're using your hand though, and that kind of stuff, it just made it like more difficult for it to heal and for the new skin to form. And it did eventually sort itself out, but it took about 3 weeks to just completely like repair itself. And yeah, it was a strange one. I did have that a little bit on my other wrist as well. Like I've got this Bible here, and on the blood drips, on the center blood drip, I had a little bit of that, but not to the extent I had on this tattoo that I have on my left wrist. Right wrist was pretty okay. In the same session, I got the eagle skull. I also got this cross that's just on my outer forearm, that's just here. This is another image that I've wanted on me for a while. Like, you guys will know this if you've seen any of my other videos where I talk about my tattoos. But I grew up in a Christian household, and I'd always kind of envisioned getting a cross tattoo when I was older. And even though I'm an atheist now, I still wanted to get this tattoo to kind of just remember my roots. And it's also a really iconic image, you know? This one was way easier to heal than the eagle skull. In that same session, I also got this broken arrow that's just on my ditch. I have an arrow going through a flower on my right ditch, and I wanted to get something similar with a similar kind of vibe in a similar position on my left arm, and I just thought that a broken arrow would be really cool. Ditch tattoos are not the most fun tattoos to get. It does feel kind of like wet fire when the needle goes over the ditch itself, which personally I'm not really a massive fan of. It's worth it, innit, though, to come out with a really cool tattoo at the end of it all. And then lastly in that session in April 2023, I got this anchor that's just on the front of my bicep here. This is another one that I'd wanted for years and years before I got it. It's just such an iconic image in traditional tattooing. I love how bold the colours are in this one and how much it just leaps off my skin. I then didn't get any more tattoos throughout the warmer months. This is something that I've learnt the hard way to avoid. I got a really bad heat rash on one of my fresh tattoos once, and that put me off getting any more done when the sun was out. I then started making these YouTube videos again around July 2023. I put out an updated tattoo tour where I said I had to have it on me about 30 million times. And I knew that I had to have this on me. I had to have it on me.
So I just had to get one on me. I absolutely had to get one done by him.
I had to get my own. Go and check that video out. Although it is kind of out of date now. Since I put that video out, I've got 4 more tattoos. So in October of 2023, I then went back to Joey Salvage, this time for a full day session to fill out some more gaps that I had on my left sleeve. I also vlogged the whole experience if you fancy seeing how that went for me and seeing my misery after being stabbed for 7 hours. So in that session I had in October, I filled this awkward little gap that I had on my wrist just here. Joey recommended putting a straight razor there as I had this sort of banana shaped gap here, and he thought it would just fill the gap really nicely. I also thought it would work quite well like thematically, like I have a greaser tattoo with a flip cone just here, and I thought they'd work quite well together. I then got my left elbow done in that session. I got a black rose on my elbow. Elbow tattoos are really not much fun at all. They feel exactly how you would think they would. You can feel the needles like grinding on your bone. It's not the most pleasant experience, but it did turn out cool as fuck. I was originally going to get a red rose, but we ended up going with a black rose instead because I have other red roses on my arm, and we thought the black rose would just give it its own kind of identity, you know, and I'm really glad we did because it looks gnarly as all hell. I then got my inner bicep done, which if you've seen my vlog from the day, you will know I didn't enjoy very much. I got a gramophone with some roses on my inner bicep, and I got so miserable during this tattoo because it's just got so sore during the shading. I'm really glad that I've got my inner bicep done on both arms now so that I never have to do it ever again, because it is no fun when you're getting it. This one was also a bit of a pain to heal, like it's an awkward place to heal because you have to try and keep your arm away from your body a little bit for a few days so as to not wipe off all the ointment that's on it or to accidentally catch it on anything. This one did go a little bit scabby when I was healing it. I only got like a little bit though, but it was just like these 4 or 5 scabs that formed, particularly on the rose and just on this bit of the gramophone. And as a result of that, I've had a little bit of fallout just in the actual, like, there's some yellow that's missing just here from the gramophone. So after me just saying that I'm so glad that I'll never have to get my inner bicep tattooed ever again, I think I'm gonna have to get this one touched up just a little bit in the new year. And then lastly in that session, I got this crawling panther that's just on the back of my arm. I originally had some different ideas for this spot. I was thinking about getting like a skeleton hand holding a flower, but I just love the Sailor Jerry crawling panther so much, and this spot seemed like the perfect place to get it, and I absolutely love it. I think it turned out absolutely incredibly. So those are the tattoos that I got in 2023. What are my plans for 2024, the year of our Lord 2024, I hear you ask? Well, I will tell you. First order of business and priority number 1 for me is to finish my left sleeve. I only have about 3 or 4 small gaps left to fill now. I don't really have any like particular things that I want to get in the places that I have left. Instead, I just have a bunch of different pictures of like gap filler ideas that I will just send to Joey. I'll flash those up on the screen now. It's what I did when I was filling the gaps on my right sleeve, and then Joey will just say, yep, this will work here, this will work here on the day, and we'll just do it like that. They're just like tiny little images that I think will work well with the other stuff that I have on this arm, and we'll just make it work in the gaps that I have left. Once I have finished my left sleeve, I'm not sure if I then want to move on to my legs or if I want to focus on my chest and my front. So I will tell you my ideas for both places. So if we start with my front, I want to get my chest done first as part of eventually getting my whole front done. My idea for my chest is to get like 2 cowgirls and horses facing each other, one on either side of my chest. I want one of the cowgirls to bear a resemblance to my mum and the other to bear a resemblance to my sister. This will also cover the Hebrew script that I currently have on my chest that I've been meaning to cover for a while now. It was my first tattoo and I don't speak Hebrew, and I thought it was a cool idea when I was 18, not so much now. So I may do that next, or I do have a few ideas for leg tattoos. So priority number 1 for my legs is another cover up. I'd want to cover this rose that I have on my ankle that one of my exes did on me many years ago when I was like 19. I want to cover this one with like an animal head. I'm thinking like a ram's head will look really cool and will be dark enough to cover the old tattoo. I've also been saying for years that I want to get like something to represent me and my wife on my legs. What I have been thinking is on the back of one calf getting a cat, which is like my wife's spirit animal, and on the back of the other calf getting a monkey, which is like my spirit animal. I would get them both wearing leather jackets. Maybe the monkey would be wearing some sunglasses because my wife constantly takes the piss out of me for wearing sunglasses every time I go out, even though it's not that bright. I think that's quite a cute idea that doesn't like instantly scream, "That's for his wife." It's not, you know, it's not her name or anything, you know, it's just, it's a cat and it's a monkey. And I love cats as well, like especially tabby cats. They are just the best. And then lastly for my legs in like the immediate future, I really want to get one of my knees tattooed. I really want to get like a bear head on one of my knees. I know that I did bitch and moan earlier about getting my elbow tattoo, and I can only imagine that the knee is much worse. And I think a bear on my knee would just look so hard, and I really want to make sure that I have room for it before I get too far into my leg sleeves, so I think I'll get it pretty early into getting my legs done. I'm not sure yet what I'd want to get on the other knee, but I know that a bear is definitely gonna go on one knee. We'll see what the tattoo gods are saying in 2024. And that is it. Those are the tattoos that I got in 2023 and my tattoo plans for 2024. I would love to hear what tattoos you guys got in 2023 and what your future plans are. Feel free to let me know in the comments below. If you did enjoy this video, give it a like and hit the subscribe button and all that other YouTube bollocks. If you like the music that you're hearing in the background, it was actually all produced by me. I have another channel where I post beats/instrumentals that I've made for singers to use to write songs to, so if that is something you are interested in, I'll put a link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching and for all of the support throughout 2023 and into 2024. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.